Hey everyone, I'm Michelle Lee, the Coachapist with Athena Rising Now. And I do a Facebook Live every Monday and Wednesday at noon, a lunch and learn. And today I want to tell you that you can create and have anything you want right now. In this very moment, you have everything you need to create exactly what you want. If you want to create a better version of yourself, you have everything you need and want. If you want to create a new business, write a book, start painting, create a beautiful home, whatever it is that your heart is calling you to do, whatever is pulling you, you have everything you need and want right now. But there's one thing that's stopping you. There's one thing that stops you, and that one thing is permission. You're waiting for permission. Let me tell you what permission looks like. If you're saying you don't have time to create what you want, you are waiting for time to give you permission. You're waiting for your circumstances to change to have what you want. If you're saying you're waiting for the kids to grow up, then you are waiting for permission from your kids. And here's the big one, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, and this is the number one thing, is that you defer to somebody else, right? So here's what I see. Women with men in their lives, they wait for permission to do what they really want. They ask the man in their life to see their vision and then to give them permission to go for that vision. And here's what happens when you defer to somebody else and you don't go after what you really, really want. Here's what happens. Anxiety, depression, fear, anger, and resentment, all of those come up for you because your desire to create whatever it is you want to create, a better version of you, a business, anything, that desire is coming from your higher self. It's coming from spirit. It is literally coming from spirit. That desire wants to come through you and be birthed as your expression of life. And when you shut yourself down, waiting for permission, whether it's time or your partner to see your vision or the money, we wait for money to give us permission, right? Because we wait for the money to be there in order to go for it. But here's the thing. I talk to people every day and they use money as an excuse, and they have the money. I know they have the money, and they use money as an excuse. And here's the bottom line, what really happens. And this is why we defer. This is why we wait for permission from other people and from the circumstances, is because honest to goodness, we're scared. We are scared to really step into our power and create what we want. We're scared because really stepping into our power and creating what we want means you follow your intuition. And the first intuition you get is desire. That is the first clue of what you're here to do, is that desire to create something different. And in order to know the next step, you have to be willing to follow that desire. Because our intuition takes you one step at a time. It gives you one step out of it in time. Isn't that wonderful? Because so many times I work with women, and what's their number one complaint? I'm overwhelmed. Because we have so many steps and so many things to do in front of us, and our divine feminine wisdom that works through our intuition gives us one step out of the time. And that way we don't get overwhelmed. But if we don't act on that step, hi Paula, thanks for stopping by. If we don't act on that step that our divine intuition gave us, we don't get the next step, right? And so sometimes the first step is, okay, I have this desire and I'm going to commit to myself to live that desire, right? And so that may mean that you have to talk somebody else into taking that step with you, or you have to find the money. If you say, I don't have the money to follow my desire, then you just made money more powerful than your intuition. If you say, I don't have time, Hi, Megan. Thanks for stopping by. I don't have time. You just allowed time to be a bigger obstacle than your God-given desire that is waiting to be birthed. Anytime we have a desire, we, as women, we are the creatrix. Whether you're a mother or not, we have the energy within us. That is our divine power to birth whatever comes forth. If you are a mother, you know, we had that desire to have a baby. We had to think about it. And then we had to enroll our partner, right? So we may need to enroll our partners. We may need to enroll other people to help support us in bringing that desire forth. But that's where our strength comes from, is enrolling them. If we defer to somebody's no, which happens all the time because this desire that comes up within us, it doesn't make sense. It's completely illogical, right? And number one, that scares the crap out of us, right? It's like there's no logic. And then we go and share with somebody else this story, and it seems illogical to them. So what your first step is to do is acknowledge that desire and then become so entrenched in it, so entranced with it, with this desire to bring it forth, that you don't defer to anybody else. You help them to see your vision. You help them to see your vision. I have a great colleague who, she saw her vision and she made the financial commitment to it without discussing it with her partner. And it did create problems in their marriage at first. They went to counseling, but in the end, her vision retired her husband. He never could see that vision. But once he started trusting her and she kept growing her vision, she kept going after it and working at it because she was dedicated. She was dedicated to her own vision and she wasn't going to allow anybody to say no. She was able to lift up her whole family. And as women, our divine feminine power is so strong. We can lift up our family. We can lift up our communities. We can lift up our planet. But it takes you not deferring to follow that first step of intuition and say yes to your vision. Say yes to the version of you that you have to become. Because just imagine, when we have that baby, the first thing we do when we decide to get pregnant is we have an idea, right? We're pregnant with an idea, and that's what your vision is. You are pregnant with this idea, and all of the steps that you take during that pregnancy, you start changing who you are, and you changing your behaviors. You're becoming aware that you're growing this new being in your body, and it's the same with an idea. You are growing a new being. You are creating your vision, and you are becoming the person you need to be in order to live that vision for yourself. So it's a process. But what I see women doing at the onset is denying their vision. I can't do that. Nobody's going to listen to me. And so we have all of these stories in our head like, that doesn't make sense. I could never make money doing that. But if you just follow it, and if you just follow that vision and take the first step, because that's your intuition. And what happens when you take that first step and you follow that intuition, no matter how illogical, and it's scary. I'll tell you right now, it's scary as hell. Right? It seems illogical. You may have your loved ones all around you saying, no, don't do that. No, don't do that. That doesn't make sense. They may even say, get back into your power, because they don't really even understand what power is, right? Because they don't have your vision. So your first step is to follow that intuition that is coming up. I mean, when we have an idea, it comes from our root chakra and up through our chakras and into our third chakra, right? Our will, when we decide I'm going to take action on this vision that I have for my life, that I have for myself, that I have for my family. And you're going to get one step, just one tiny step. And when you follow that step, when you embrace the courage to follow that step, no matter how illogical, no matter how many people are telling you, no, don't do it, then it is literally like giving birth. It's like when you're getting this step, and it's like you're getting more and more pregnant, and the pressure is building, right? And then you say yes, and you take that action, and suddenly you get all of this validation, right? The universe validates you. And you see signs all around you, you hear the perfect message, if you just notice, and then you kind of get used to being there, right? That pop and all the validation that you experience is like giving birth. It's like holding that baby in your hand, in your arms, and you're like, oh, it was so worth it. I was so scared, and I had to become a different person. And now you popped, you have this baby. And this is the first step of having your vision in physical form. And then the next piece is acclimating to being that new person, right? Acclimating to being that. That's the postpartum piece. Now you have this vision in your arm, and it's in physical form, and you have the validation, and now you're adjusting to having it. That's the postpartum piece. And as you create yourself, as you create your vision, you're going to go through cycles of this over and over. Our birthing cycle is 10 months, right, in physical form. But when we have ideas, we can go through that birthing cycle multiple times during a physical pregnancy, during that 10-month period. You may go through a birthing cycle in 3 months or 6 weeks. And that's what I've been experiencing over the past couple of months. As I keep going through this birthing cycle, I have this vision, and it pops, and I'm there, and then my vision expands and grows, and I keep getting all of these validations that I am supported. I am supported. Not necessarily by the people around me, because the people around me don't always get it, right? Fortunately, I've put myself in a place where I am surrounded by people who share like visions, who know that this is how we grow. This is how we continue to expand. This is how we're going to bring healing to the entire planet. So I'm surrounded by these people. So I have a soft place to go and get that support when the people closest to me aren't really getting it. So just know that you have everything you need to begin your vision now. Everything. The desire is the first thing you needed. The next piece is to follow that desire. Really follow it. Do not allow yourself to wait for permission. You don't need money's permission. You don't need time's permission. You don't need your parents' permission, your kids' permission, your partner's permission. You go for it, because your desire is your God-given desire. I was speaking to a woman yesterday who has this beautiful vision around helping children, less fortunate children, get their good education, and really expanding her vision bigger and bigger. And what was stopping her? And she told me, this is my God-given vision, and money was stopping her. And I said, money is not an obstacle for God. Why is it an obstacle for you? Hi, Charlene. Hi, Joanne. Thanks for stopping by. So really, making that desire your number one top priority, and not allowing anything to get in your way. And what happens is you build momentum, right? You have the desire, you have the fear about following the desire, because following your desire and creating the life you want is not about being fearless, but it is about being courageous and taking the action that your intuition is calling you to take, no matter how illogical it is. We're in the age of femininity. We're in the age of the divine feminine changing the world and healing the planet. It's not about being logical anymore. It's about leading with emotion. It's about leading with the heart and creating from the heart chakra. So it's not going to be logical, and you're not going to be fearless at it, but you're going to be courageous. And the more often you're courageous and taking those scary steps, the more confident you're going to get in it. Get it? The more confident you're going to get in taking those steps. So the reason why I tell you this is I have created a powerful incubator for women just like you who have a vision, who need that support team. Just like I said, I have a support team of women who have big visions, right? And we're taking scary action. And we need that support from people who say, yes, you can do it. Because our families get scared with us and are like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do that, right? So I've created this powerful container of women with visions, and they are learning to trust their divine feminine power, that energy that comes up and out through the heart and creates. I mean, that's what we're doing constantly. So if you're ready to become the person that you need to be to hold a bigger vision for yourself, for your family, for your community, and for your planet, I'm going to leave the link below so you can schedule some time with me. Schedule some time with me and I will talk with you about, what's really blocking you and how you can get into this powerful incubator where women just like you are placing their visions, placing their hearts, and we're all coming together with this divine feminine power and lifting up those visions and supporting each other. It's not just us as humans, it's who we are as souls, what our soul frequency is, and what we're bringing to the planet to make it a better place. So thank you for joining me. I will be back on Lunch and Learn Live Wednesday at noon Pacific. If this video was at all helpful, please share this video. Let your women friends know, maybe they have a vision, maybe they're feeling stuck. There's so much potential lost because women defer. They wait for permission. They wait for other people to see their vision with them. And we're here to be leaders. We're here to lift up the planet to create huge change. And we can't wait for other people to give us permission to do that. So share it, please. Thank you. I will see you again Wednesday on Wednesday's Lunch and Learn. Have an awesome week.